Hello, this is Seneschal Tutorial Screencast number 2. This is downtimes, pools, and how to make the STs a little less crazy every week. So, as you can see, we now have an approved character. This is the character we created in Screencast number 1. And when we go in, you can see now there is no edit character link. We just have the sheet here. Now, the new option that we have across the top is Submit Actions, and this is where you do all of your downtime work. So the first thing I always do, these links up here can be opened in new tabs. So I always right click and open my sheet in a new tab. And I'll show you why that is in just a minute. And then I usually just run down from top to bottom how I want to do this. So the first option here is your journal. Now your journal can be a lot of things. It can be an actual Dear Diary style journal. It can be some kind of scene from your character's past. There's just a lot of things that you can put in there, but the important thing is to give the storytellers a sense of your character's state of mind and maybe where they are or how they're feeling about certain plots or some plot hooks of your own that you would like the STs to sort of tag in on. Or just fleshing out your character for yourself. But generally speaking, you want to give the STs a bigger and better sense of your character through your journal. And again, totally worth the XP. Usually it's a pretty fun exercise for me. So I'm going to skip over personal because personal is sort of where I end up tagging on all of the extra little extraneous things. And we're going to move right down to resolve actions. Now, we use what I believe is an optional rule, which is downtimes limited by resolve actions. And this basically means however many points of resolve you have in your sheet, that's how many actions that require storyteller interference in some fashion that you can take on your sheet here. So if you need a scene with a major NPC that's going to require a downtime scene with one of the STs, if you're going to do something that's going to require a roll that you need to get a certain number of successes on, and this is anything from rallying for your covenant or clan to coming up and building some awesome treehouse in the backyard of your childhood home. Whatever you want to do that needs a roll or some other ST intervention has to be a resolve action. So I usually split these into sort of a three-pronged approach. First thing you want to do is give the STs a good sense of what you want to do, just a quick, as fast as you possibly can story. So let's say that one of the arcs right now is that there's a Pokemon infestation and you want to try and figure out what the source of that infestation is. So I'm going to put as my sort of headline of this, researching Pokemon infestation. And then I try to sort of give them a few more details. Sometimes you can't do as specific a thing as you want, but this gives them the STs a sense of where you're going with it. So looking for the source of the Pikachu mob that came through the Elysium last week. And then third and most importantly, put your pool down that is the appropriate pool for this role. Now, I will post up, I haven't quite yet gotten the whole list, but I will post up sort of the most common pools that people will use for downtime. Let's use, for this one, we're going to use a pretty standard research role. So this is going to be intelligence plus academics. And then, of course, plus if you've got specializations, say I had academics Pokemon, I'd put that there. If you've got, other equipment, for instance, if you've got a place that helps you research better, put it all in there. And then this is why I have this open in a second sheet here, because I can go, okay, my intelligence is 4, my academics is 5. Say that the specialization was Pikachu, so 4, 5, 1, that's a 10. So my pool here is 10. And that just makes it so that the storytellers don't have to do that on about 50 sheets. So you can use these resolve actions for a whole, variety and mess of things. Sometimes you might want to, for instance, you want to do this a second time because you know that getting this Pokemon infestation out of Elysium is going to be so important. So this time you're going to do it again, but this time you're not just going to do, your standard research. You're really going to push yourself, and you want to say expending 1 willpower point. And so this time it's going to be intelligence plus academics Pokemon plus willpower, which is now your base is now 13 for figuring out where Pikachu came from. So make sure to calculate your pools for every single one of these resolve actions. So I know that this Chica here is, I believe I made her Maquette, so let's say she wants to rally for the maquette. Even if it's something as simple as that, I really recommend, again, put some sort of style into it and give that secondary description. Making sure that all the research groups in the city are sharing their knowledge, especially with outsider maquette who might be interested. So there, you're paying off maquette with secrets, and then your role for rally is presence. Actually, for this chick, it's probably intelligence plus politics. And so say she had maquette status 2, we'll say plus status maquette. And so now we go back to our sheet again. And so we're looking at intelligence is 4. Politics, she's got none, so that's -3 on skilled. And then we said she, even though it's not on the sheet, we're just pretending here she's got the maquette status of 2. So we're looking at a pool of 4, -3 is 1, plus 2 is 3. So her pool here is 3, and I would really recommend that she buy some politics. If I'm right about that, it's over there. Yes, it is mental. Good. So, again, please make sure you put these roles in every single time. You can put them in, you can usually save them in previous actions and just copy and paste them. I keep a notepad file on my computer desktop of the roles, just so that they're that easy to copy paste. So once you've got all of these in, and let's do something silly here, attend monster truck rally for 3 days. So that's going to take up enough time. Talk to Bubba, the NPC. Okay, so now you need to talk to a storyteller about that NPC. Even though there is no role there, you still have to use up that resolve action. Now, there are certain merits that let you hand off actions. So even though she only has 4 resolve actions, you can see here that she's got allies 1, she's got the Linux Jihad, and then retainer 2, a Mythbuster scientist, who she can hand off actions to. So say with the Pikachu issue, then she wants the Mythbuster to say, bust Pikachu myths, give retainer list of myths, and see how many he can bust so we fight these things better. Okay, and with a retainer role, since the retainer is the one that's doing the role, if you've got the retainer built in the system, once again, go in, look at their character sheet, and again, put the pool. Pikachu myth busting is probably another, I would say crafting production, crafting design. So we're going to say this is intelligence plus crafts. And since this poor Mythbuster scientist is just a human, let's say his pool is 4. So, and then again, for allies, do the same thing. Give a headline, give a description, and make sure to put the pool in the sheet. Now, up here, I said I leave personal for last, and this is also very important for keeping the storytellers less crazy. Everything that you expend during downtime needs to go in your personal. So for instance, we spent 1 XP, I spent 1 willpower below. Say the monster truck tickets are very expensive. Paid $5,000 for monster truck rally tickets. And let's say that you wanted to make sure that you maintain something that doesn't necessarily take a resolve action. So for instance, made sure to buy enough ammo and Cheetos for the next program and target practice coffee circle. So because these are just little things that don't take ST intervention, they're gimmies, you don't need to roll for them at all, you put those in your personal. So make sure here, though, too, if you think that there's any chance that there might be a problem. Like, say she only has resources 2, and paying $5,000 for monster truck rally tickets just isn't very likely with resources 2. Make sure that you add not really a pool, but an explanation here, too. Sold car and plasma for 7 days straight. And now she can, you know, obviously not selling her own plasma, but now she can afford to pay the $5,000 for the monster truck tickets. And she may have to lose a point of resources or something like that because she expended so much of it. It's something the storytellers are going to want to keep track of. So again, that's your downtime. Pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead and save this. So now that I've got these saved, because it is after the time when downtimes are due, I cannot edit them. But normally, if you do it before when you save it, it continues to look just like it did before. With you can type and edit and change in all of the fields. So as long as you do your downtime before the deadline, you can edit it as much as you need to. Once you've submitted your actions, once you've submitted your actions, you can go over to action history. And action history will let you see not just this action, but if she had weeks and weeks of actions, they would all be down here. And this is where I usually will pull my pools from if I need to. So that's the long and the short of submitting downtime actions. And if you have any other questions about downtimes, make sure to email the staff. They're the ones who can answer that. If there are any pools you want up on the website, feel free to email me just so that you have something for reference, and I'll be glad to put it up. So thanks again for listening, and I'll see you guys soon.